last night.
Just more sleep.
I think last year, so many of us that went so long without placards, we just started using our laptops.
Yes, I remember doing
We
that.
would have them out like this.
C'est toi qui penses, c'est moi qui
That's
cause
risky.
I probably might as well do that as well.
Wow.
Oh, hey.
I'm gonna be 59
But
this
yeah,
month.
no, it was the only way. You're gonna keep your hand up for a very long time.
Retired, we won't have any age security left.
60 within.
I think that's 65.
From the standpoint.
We'll get started in just a couple minutes. We're just waiting on the TVs to go up. The Zoom should be live.
I'll continue to do so.
Oh, I
Parking kids.
well, if I come to work, I might, well, I don't do anything.
This guy's got me by a couple of years. Why don't you?
John, should I call that? Fear, great fear. I have to watch TV, that almost killed me.
That's a good point.
Sarah,
I don't mind.
Yeah, so I've been trying to contact you via
Well,
email.
a couple of
You got the email?
them,
Yeah.
Political parties.
My class. Just got off.
It should
So
mark
you were
illegally.
able to get the I got the email. Yeah, cause like,
Are you
so I look at my
parking
emails and
illegally?
everything, like there's just so many formal comments.
Yes,
Out there,
traffic
like,
share.
Folks on Zoom, are you able to hear us? Can you give like a thumbs up
Yep, just wanna keep going.
if you're able to hear us or send something in the chat?
I gotta take it for that.
I'm in Pablo after you.
That'd be appreciated.
You gotta charge him for that. Hey, these old guys won't retire.
I know they're
You good?
They need a roll.
July 4th.
yeah, they can.
Okay, so we're just gonna get started. So I'll call this meeting to order at 4:06 PM. And then we'll move into roll call. Senator Hassan,
Present.
Senator Franzen.
Here.
Senator Balogun. Senator Emke is on Zoom. Senator Ponte.
Here.
Senator Bugney. Senator Reyes.
Here.
Senator Maega.
Here.
Senator Karki, Rajesh Karki. Senator Mpenga.
Here.
Senator Dietrich.
Here.
Senator Smith. Senator Speltz. Senator Moore.
Here.
Senator Maba. Senator Parekh. Senator Karki.
Here.
Senator Livingston.
Here.
Senator Riggles on Zoom. Senator Colleran.
Here.
Senator Zelmer. Senator Hillstead.
Here.
I'm here. President Nurul is here. VPJ is absent. So we do have quorum. So now we will move Alrighty, okay, so we should be good. So then we're gonna move into the approval of the consent agenda. Are there any amendments to the consent agenda? Any amendments? Okay, seeing none, I'll be looking for an approval for the consent agenda.
Motion to approve.
To approve, is there a second?
Second.
Seconded. Any dissent to the consent agenda? Alrighty, seeing none, the consent agenda is approved. So then we'll move into presentations. We're supposed to have the elections commission, but Vice President Jay is not here. John, would you like to present for elections commission?
Senator Carkey here.
Or Senator Karki, would you like to make it or move it to next week?
I can go ahead, but Rebecca did tell me that we talked about pushing it to next week. So if you want me to, I can, but I don't care.
Okay. Is there a motion to move it to next week?
To next week.
Motion, second.
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 Okay, is there any dissent to moving the elections commission to next week? Okay, seeing none, we'll move that to next week's meeting when VPJ is here. So there's no other presentation scheduled, so is there anyone here for open forum? Open forum. Alrighty, seeing none, then we will move into officer reports, starting with President Narala.
Wow. Hello folks, how's it going? We're almost at the final stretch of the semester, one final month until we get to finals week. Lots of exciting things happening. I'll share a couple of things that we've been up to. Most of you were there with me at Advocacy Conference last weekend. We had 6 university delegates meet at Metro State University. We talked about students' issues, had a rough idea of our legislative agenda going into next year. And it was really helpful. Thank you for everyone who came in. Thank you for everyone who helped out. It was really exciting. There will be other opportunities for you to connect with folks from across the 7 universities, either through town hall, which will be virtual next semester. Students United Executive Board will also be coming in next semester to talk about Students United budget. So think about questions that you want to ask them ahead of time, so that way we'll be able to learn more about what Students United is up to, and you'll be able to share some pointers and feedbacks. Earlier this week, I met with Vice President Jones. We talked about some university updates. I got to share some of the projects that you've been working on. I got some pointers at some constitutional amendments that Legislative Affairs is up to this year. So that'll be really exciting to see the work that they put together next semester. Next week, I have a meeting with President Inch. Vice President Jay and I are meeting with President Inch. If you have any issues or any comments, concerns that you're hearing from students on your end, definitely bring it up to us, and we'll be more than happy to share it with President Inch and see some pointers and conversations that we can get to. Budget Submeet meets next week, and that's also on my calendar. Something that should be on your calendar is Provost Hood coming in and talking to student government next Wednesday. So definitely start thinking about questions or some of the areas that you want to hear more about. I've shared with him some topics that you might be interested in, but if there's something that you want to learn more about, definitely send those over to us and we'll make sure it's sent over to him so he can bring more information to share with you at this table. I also have a one-on-one with the provost to talk more and in depth about some of the topics that I'd shared with him earlier last week. Lots of exciting senator projects going on. I'm really excited to see the work that you've been putting in together. I'm really excited to reach out and talk with people. So if you have any questions about your senator projects, or even if you're still at the planning phase and you don't know what to do, feel free to reach out to me, please. We'll be more than happy to brainstorm, bounce ideas off of each other, see who we can contact. And I'll be more than happy to help you out and get connected with more folks. I'm really excited to see a couple of different projects that I've been working on with you personally. So it's really exciting to see all of the work that you've been doing. Like I said last week, we're only 6 months left for April. So start thinking about some tangible things that will get done before the end of our terms. Yeah, and that's everything that I had for my report. I stand for any questions.
Are there any questions for President Narala? President Narala?
Just one final thing. Vice President Jay apologizes for not being here with you all today. However, all of you should do a mid-semester check-in with Vice President Jay. If you have not responded to her emails before she went to travel, go back and do that right away. She's doing check-ins on your senator progress, your reports, office hours, and all of those different things. So reach out to her, reply to her email, send her a couple of different times that might work out for you. She's more than flexible to do phone calls, do Zoom meetings, or do in-person meetings to learn more about where you're at with your project, or if you're having any concerns, any comments that you're hearing from your end or anything. So reply to that email as soon as possible.
Senator Dietrich?
For questions we wanna send to the provost ahead of time, are we sending them to you, posting them in Teams?
Yes, either one, either or. If you wanna send me a direct message on Teams, that would also work out. If you wanna get something started on the Teams, that would also work out.
Any other questions? Alrighty, seeing none, then since Vice President Jay isn't here, it's my turn. We had really good voter turnout yesterday, from what I heard from different people in the residence halls. We had really good numbers over there, so that's really good. So if you did your job and if you could vote and were eligible to vote, congratulations, good job, yay. That's all I'm gonna say on that. And then also next thing is make sure you're tracking your office hours, just because we'll have to move it to senator pay. So just make sure you're doing that. And also just an update on the vacancies. We have 2 for residential life, 1 for off-campus, 2 for allied health and nursing, 1 for College of Business, 1 for College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and then 1 for the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. So please make sure that if you know anyone who'd be interested in those positions to have them apply, because starting next semester, there's gonna be a point probably mid-February where we are gonna start cutting off senator applications due to our lovely budget season. So that's kind of all the updates I have. Stand for questions, and Senator Moore.
For this Senator Presidential Life, is the second one a new one? Because on the email it says 1, but I didn't know if that was like new.
Yeah, it was a typo on my end.
Okay, just making sure.
Any other questions for me? Alrighty, seeing none, we're going to move into the Dean of the Day, and we should have Dr. Marincic. Did I say that right?
Very good.
Okay. So let's try to put our laptops down and let's just listen, and we'll give her the floor.
So anyway, appreciate the opportunity to be here with you today. That was a quick meeting. I thought I'd be another hour and a half on the agenda. So I do appreciate the opportunity to meet with you. You know, I'm from the College of Allied Health and Nursing, and we have 3,600 students in about 42 different programs at the graduate, undergraduate, and certificate level. And you know, if you have people in search of a major and are looking yourselves, you know, there's a full cadre of programs that we're offering there. One of the programs I might mention here this time around is that we have an undergraduate program in applied health sciences, which has a community and public health focus. And I think even looking around the room, as we have some international students in this room, but also looking in general, there's really worldwide applications to degree programs in applied health sciences. And that ends up being a springboard for many of the pre-professional programs, whether medicine, physician assistant, occupational therapy, physical therapy, and a number of those programs, some of which we offer, some of which we don't. Social work, another one that we have graduate programming in. So I want to kind of just, you know, let you all know that's out there. And we're also looking at, in process right now, getting a master's of public health approved for the university, which really would be very, you know, a program that's in pretty high demand and high standing. So wanted to make sure you knew that was on the horizon. The other area of great need for us, besides nursing, which you probably all know and hear about, is across the behavioral health sciences. There's lots of behavioral health problems. I think, you as a student body has addressed some of that, with the university and our services available to students, through student affairs. But I also want to just plug behavioral health and the programs we have here on campus to help develop that workforce. And programs within our college are alcohol and drug studies and addiction studies, social work. A lot of people, maybe don't understand what social workers maybe do, but by the time we get to the graduate level, they are really providing a good portion of the mental health counseling that's provided, to individual patients and clients with behavioral health challenges, as well as working with families. And then outside the college, counseling that's housed in the College of Education also provides, educational background to work into that pathway, and also psychology. So there's lots of opportunities on campus if you're interested in majors that lead to, high demand workforce areas in the behavioral health space. And it's certainly a tremendous area of need. I think most of you probably know that to be the case. So I'll just mention those two. But I do want to always acknowledge the work that you all are doing here, the good work that you do for the campus and bringing the student issues forward. And I really open the floor up for you to ask me questions if you would like to do that.
Are there any questions? Senator Dietrich.
So, nationwide, we're seeing a great need for mental health professionals. Is there anything you think that the university could do to help pave the way to getting more graduates in social work and those from like psychology as well?
So the things that we actually are doing, so sharing that, we've applied for and received scholarships from donors, which would be gifts for scholarships for students. We have a grant from the Minnesota Department of Health that we are looking for scholarships. We actually reappropriated that for some GA positions because people can do a little bit better getting additional funding if we reappropriate that money, and we got permission from them to do so. So that would just be two examples. There's a call from HRSA, which is the Health Resources Services Administration, that if you guys are in healthcare, you're probably aware of that. That's our federal funding agency to build workforce, and we are just met yesterday to talk about submitting a grant for the same. We've had that grant for, I want to say 15 years, but we're doing a more interprofessional, not just social work, but looking across all of the majors that we talked about, including nursing. And we have just we have a Center for Rural Behavioral Health that does research, outreach, and teaching and building the workforce. And then we had a soft opening for a clinic over in U Square. It's officially probably going to be down the road a little bit, just to get licensing and get professionals, because the challenge for us is also getting professionals to work in our clinics. So we really have that in the work. And that center is very well, the Blue Cross Blue Shield Center for Rural Behavioral Health, really targeting our region here. So we have a lot of things, and I think we're in the starting blocks to do some great work for the state that might help inform the national picture in that area. So I appreciate the question.
Senator Zelmer.
Thanks for coming today. I was wondering, so we've heard a lot from the nursing students on the expensive textbooks and how they're very expensive. How are you and your faculty kind of addressing that?
So I think I just have been doing reviews for our faculty, and several, as I look at their classes, are looking to look at the, online resources and address some of the very expensive tests, at least in the classes where we can do that. So they are investing their time and effort in that space. It's probably not hitting every class, but it's definitely something we're aware of.
Senator Moore.
So, both historically and now, we've found it very hard to fill the number of seats in Senate for allied health and nursing as a college. Do you have any recommendations on what we could do to maybe help have those be filled?
It's a great question, and I met with our student, the Dean's Advisory Student Council a couple weeks ago. I actually thought we had one of them filled, and so we're pushing that out. I do think the challenges are that the students are often in clinical assignments. It may not be on campus, but that doesn't account for everybody in that space. So if you know people in the health sciences in our college, I would certainly be tapping them. We've put out a few calls. If you want to send a call out, an email to me with that information on it, I will forward that to our students if you would like to do that and see if we can get any takers. But coming into this room today, I was like, why is everybody gone? And realizing that it's the vacancies in the seat. So I appreciate those that are here in the room. It is a time commitment.
Senator Zelmer.
So I had the actual opportunity of touring the basement of the clinical health science building. You guys are renovating it. Do you know what like the timeline is gonna look like and what those it's gonna be used for?
I haven't been extensively involved in those discussions, and actually had a conversation with the provost about it today. I think that is playing out with the new Armstrong discussion, if that means anything to you, in that space. And, it pays out a little bit of whether Armstrong gets funded and so forth. But my understanding is we're going to be working on that this semester and hopefully starting construction this summer.
Senator Hassan.
Thank you for coming. I'm also a senator from Allied Health Science and Nursing. So my question is.
Thank you.
I have a meeting with you in upcoming days.
So we did get one person, so that's good. I thought we had, so I'm glad you're here. I was afraid you didn't come, so.
We have two.
Okay.
Sorry, point of clarification.
We do have two, okay.
So my question is, as you said, you guys are trying on the process to bring masters for public health.
Right.
So I was also wondering for occupational therapy, can you guys start? Is there any hope for masters?
It's not something we've entered into discussion. I don't think it's something we don't want to do, but the university's looking at its entire programming portfolio. And of course, space is a factor, as you know. I personally, all things in a perfect world, and we had space and money, I would look at both physical therapy and occupational therapy here as a complement to our athletic training program. That would be several years down the road just to get, that through the process here, though. But I'll take your take-home message back.
Are there any other questions? Okay, I don't think there's any other questions. Oh, we have a comment, I think.
Thank you so much for coming, and I just want to make a comment. And we do have 2 senators, potentially 3 after today's vacancy elections. But thank you, Dean Patty.
Okay, so we did make a little progress there. Good. Thank you.
Thank you. Alrighty, so now we are going to move into senator reports. Here. So we're gonna start with Senator Belogan. So you can either stay seated or you can go to the podium, however you feel.
Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well today. I want to start by, thank you guys for the great job you do and the commitments that you guys put into this. And I'm honored to work alongside with you guys. Surely this is like my first semester doing this, so I'm honored to be working alongside with you guys. And my senator project for College of Humanity and Behavioral Science is an annual town hall meeting. So I met with the Vice President Jay, and then we talked about working on a town hall meeting whereby students will be able to meet with faculty members and discuss with faculty members, ask questions, and like whatever they want to see, like developments in the departments, like whether they are college or like maybe they need any other like educational program or like any support that they need. So we want to make that like an annual discussion whereby students can get closer and have input in what like what can affect them. So right now we're in the process of like selecting faculty members that are gonna like come to the meeting, and I'm also like running like a polls, and I've sent forms out for students to get students input on what questions they would like to ask ahead of time. And yeah, as I said, this is gonna be annual meeting, so it's gonna be second week of spring semester, and every spring semester is gonna be happening. And even after I'm done here, the meeting will still proceed, and if I can come around, I will also be present in the meeting. And secondly, we've developed a way to communicate with the whole like college. So every month now, we send out emails, updates about the college to all students in the department of like each department in the College of Humanity and Behavioral Science. Thank you. I'll be happy to get any questions.
Are there any questions? Any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you for your report. Up next we have Senator Hillstead.
Hello, everyone. Pleasure to be here. Pleasure to do business with you for this semester. I'm going to start off with I attended advocacy conference with Rochette this weekend. Got some wonderful insights on what Narcan is, and I learned a lot about that and the positive impacts that it will have on schools if we implement it here. As well as I have a senator project, and that's getting electric scooters allowed in residential halls, as well as finding safe spots to store them that would be surveilled with Nolan Zelmer. We've drafted up a resolution. We went through it with Rochette, and Rochette did a couple edits on it, and it made it better because it was pretty weak. I'll put it out there. But yeah, we are gonna present that to RHA hopefully this coming Monday, and start discussions there about it. Hopefully get endorsed with that, as well as I have a one-on-one meeting with Residential Life Director Anthony Bettendorf tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about that deeply in there. Basically, what I'm going to address is how we need this to be passed because I'm personally not comfortable with having $500 to a $3,500 scooter outside for weather damage and all that. But we are hopefully going to get that approved next Monday. Not next Monday, 2 Mondays from now, and then address that into student government. And with that, if you have any questions about the resolution, I'm here for them and all that.
Are there any questions? Questions? Right, seeing none, thank you. Alrighty, so now we will move into Senate vacancies. Is there anyone here for Senator for Residential Life? Anyone here for off campus? Anyone here for the College of Allied Health and Nursing? Alrighty, we'll have you go up to the front of the podium. And then you do have this applicant's application, so if you do want to have that pulled up on your screen, you can also look at that as well. Alrighty, so before I let you begin, just kind of doing a little bit of housekeeping. You will have 2 minutes to give an opening statement, and then after your 2 minutes is done or whenever you finish, our senators are going to be able to ask you any questions that they might have, so then you'll be able to answer those. And then after questioning, then we'll go into your 2-minute closing statement, and after that, then we're going to go into some discussion.
Thank you so much.
Alright, so you can start whenever you're ready.
Madam Speakers, members of the Senate, thank you for letting me speak for you all today. My name is Zuhei Leon, and I'm a first student studying pre-health administration, as well as a minor in health communication. I'm originally from Portage, Wisconsin. Here at MSU, I'm heavily involved in Greek life. I have held a leadership role within the Gamma Phi Beta chapter. Alongside that, I've also been involved in the MSU cheerleading team as well. I am seeking to join the Senate, bringing a fresh, diverse perspective to the table. I want to look after the interests of not only those in the College of Allied Health Nursing, but also everyone in the Maverick community. One priority of mine is ensuring health equity, not only to MSU students, but also in our local communities. That would mean utilizing our hardworking students that make up my college to fill those needs. We encourage students to apply what they're learning with filling the personal needs, especially in areas of mental health, as well as getting real-world experiences. Another priority would be ensuring the representation of allied health and nursing students here in the Senate and other decision-making bodies. I've learned in the college has a difficult time filling up vacant Senate seats, and I want to encourage my peers to step up and into those leadership roles so we can find a significant advocate for our college. In conclusion, I hope to join you all in fighting for the needs of our fellow students, and I, again, thank you for letting me be here, and I stand for questions.
Thank you. So I'm going to open up to the floor to the Senate. Are there any questions for Zuhei? Senator Colleran.
Okay, yeah, so as academic secretary, you have to go to the academic affairs committee, and that committee meets every Wednesday at 3 or 4 p.m. Would you be able to make that time?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes, it might seem like I am very busy, but I'm also very up with my schedule. Being involved with two really competitive situations where I do have to make time for practices as well as time for my chapter, I always make sure I make time in and out with my school schedule as well.
Any other questions? President?
Right. Do you want to talk about how you heard of student government and what made you apply for the Senate position?
So I do have a fellow friend here that is the Senate. His name is Ben Livingston, as many as you know. I'm also involved in working in the student government office for work study as well. I just found interest just because I've heard that there wasn't a lot of people really wanting a leadership role within the allied health, and I think it's pretty frustrating just because I think every college should have a voice within their own school, and it's just something that we need to step up, and I just want to be that leader.
Are there any other questions? Senator Livingston.
How would you bring about, you said you wanted to utilize allied health and nursing students in partner with student health and other medical services in the community. How would you go about that?
Well, I'm hoping to partner with local communities in Mankato, if that being the Mayo Health Clinic or Student Allied Health Center, just to provide opportunities for all students to fulfill the needs while also doing their clinical practices. So that's what
Senator Hillstead.
I see in your application, you put need for more practical real world opportunities that directly relate to our future in health careers and healthcare. How would you go about that?
Since me being a first year student, it's kind of hard for me to understand more of the practical needs that each student needs for each college, but I hope to do more research and work with students, especially since I do have fellow friends that are in the nursing and dental hygiene field that are struggling to kind of put themselves in the positions where they need to be.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Senator Moore.
I guess this is more of a point of information, but I do know dental hygiene students need a set number of hours for practical work, I suppose. So that would probably be one of the things in the real world practical thing that might not be able to be fulfilled because of struggling to find a place to do that.
Any other questions? Any other questions? Already seeing none, you have 2 minutes for a closing statement.
Well, I just want to thank you guys for letting me have the opportunity to speak out here. Again, I'm really hoping to bring a good, great positive attitude with the Allied Health and College Center, and I just really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, we can talk. So before you go, so you have like two options. You can either leave the room while we discuss, or you can stay in the room while we discuss, but it's 100% up to you. So you can decide what you want to do.
I'll stay.
Okay, that works. All good. Alrighty, so now I will open it up for points of discussion. Senator Livingston.
As you heard, I know her, I used to pay a lot. Got to know her, or since I got here, she's an incredible individual, very hardworking, bring a lot of ambition and a good attitude, like you said, to student government. So I would encourage a yes vote.
Senator Karki.
Well, unlike Ben, I don't know her at all, but even just looking at just reading out the application, you could like see glimpses of who they are as a person, and I think it was a very strong application and presentation.
Senator Warren.
I think her experience with other organizations really shows like a leadership quality that I think would be very useful. And I think it's also a good for sorority specifically. It would be good because we are trying to sort of foster relationships with them. So having members who are in both obviously would make sense with that.
Senator Zelmer.
I think that her outreach towards the community objective would be really beneficial as just as an overall campus, as we want to reach out outside of just our campus for health purposes, and then also being a first year can add better new-minded thoughts to Senate.
Are there any other points of discussion? Any other points? Great, seeing none, we are going to move into voting. So if you could grab a piece of paper, you can just have a small piece and then write yes, no, or abstain. And on Zoom, please message in the chat your vote, yes, no, or abstain. Thank you. And John and I will come around to collect them.
You know that? Thank you.
Roshan, I sent you a message with my vote, because I don't have paper. This is my paper.
That's noted.
Noted? Perfect, thank you.
Yeah, that was really, I was appreciate it. I was scared my
They all have faculty staff advisors too. Is it just you and him or is it multiple? Oh no.
Meeting might be.
I'd say less. Fun. Probably. Good time. Like good cop. I thought he liked me, so I'll give you that cop. Present your own. How's your day going?
Pretty good. How are you?
Cruising along.
Alright, you can come back up to the podium. All right, congratulations. We've had an election with a unanimous vote, may I say. So. Alrighty, so before you get to take a seat at our table, we're gonna have you do our little oath. So I'll have you raise your right hand. Yeah, me too, I was like, okay, so raise your right hand and then just repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Zuhei Leon,
Do hereby swear
do hereby swear
to represent, support, and serve. To represent, support, and serve.
to represent here and serve
The students of Minnesota State University Mankato
the students of Minnesota State Mankato,
in student life and academic needs,
student life and academic needs,
and to uphold the mission, constitution, and bylaws,
to uphold Constitution,
mission, and bylaws
mission and bylaws
of the student government.
of the student government.
I so affirm.
I so affirm.
There we go.
I'm really bad at
That's okay.
memorizing stuff like that.
That's okay. You can find a seat at any open spot at this table. Or go up and find a seat.
You're all good. I've seen worse.
Alrighty.
I've seen a lot worse.
That was fun. So do we have anyone here for the College of Business, Senator? College of Humanities and Social Sciences, and then College of Science, Engineering, and Technology. Alrighty, seeing none, then we are free to move into new business. Oh, there's no new business. So then we'll move into old business. Oh, no old business. So then we just move straight into announcements. Are there any announcements? John.
Thank you all. Just a reminder, coming up not next week, but the following week, you have an opportunity to lose another trophy to the student affairs administrators and staff. So they will be there in the dome to reclaim that from you on the 20th. I'll be there to support. Probably won't be kicking a ball yet, but just a reminder about that coming up in a couple of weeks. I did want to give you, I didn't know that VPJ was not going to be here today. I didn't know that. So I do want to just fill you in a little bit about where the Election Commission is so far. So they've met twice. During last week's meeting, they did elect VPJ to be the chief election commissioner. And so in her duties as the chief election commissioner, she was to present to you the rules and the timeline for the election. Those are both voted on and approved by the commissioners who were present for the meeting. And so she was going to present those. If you want to get a sneak preview at them, they're already posted on the student government website. So student government, basically, she formally presents those to you. As ratified and approved by the commission. Again, if you want a sneak preview on the student government website, there's a section for elections, and they have been uploaded there, both the timeline for the spring 25 election and the new rules. So you can take a look there, but VPJ will officially present those next week just for your review. So that's where we are. Everything else is on schedule with the commission. Once they know their class schedules, they'll be confirming the rules meetings. Their target is to have the candidacy application ready by the first day of classes in the spring, which is our normal timeline. So, so there's that. That's where the election commission is. Everything's on target now. I will let you know also, you'll be receiving soon our timeline for the election and how it works alongside the budget timeline for student fees for next year. We're just waiting on confirmation from VP Gillespie that it works with her timeline as well. And once we have that approval, it'll come and it'll be made available to you in the Teams folder so that you'll see how packed our schedule is for the next several months in terms of determining those student fees. So I will encourage you to ask questions as we go along the way. You'll hear from me early in the spring semester about what that budget process looks like, but we'll have a lot of work ahead of us in a very important year for the university. So that's where things are. And I want to thank folks who came to Renting 101 sessions or the Housing Fair today. The Housing Fair had great participation from housing providers in our community. I know some of you were there to mix and mingle with them, and I appreciate that. Also, I know at least a couple of you made it to some of my Renting 101 sessions. The next one will be given in January in conjunction with that Housing Fair. So if you do know people who have questions about the housing search process, or there'd be a group that would benefit from one of my presentations, I'm okay to schedule those independently. But things are moving right along right now, so things are good.
Are there any questions for John? Oh, thanks, John. And then other announcements, I think Senator Maba.
So the Department of Philosophy, Languages and Cultures is hosting International Poetry Recited on November 21st, but tomorrow is the deadline to submit your poems. So if you write or have a poem in mind that you would like to read, it doesn't matter in what language, as long as you can submit an English translation, you can totally submit it and you'll be able to recite your poem on the 21st.
Sorry, just making sure I can get that date down. Any other announcements? Mark?
Just want to let you know that the Student Allocations Committee, we've been meeting for a few weeks now. Just it's good that we're up and running. Senator Colleran has been voted in as the chair for the committee, so we're happy to have that. We meet every Wednesday at 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock, excuse me. I'm thinking the other meeting. Friday, excuse me. The Student Union Board had our first meeting last week as well, where we meet every couple of weeks. And first week, we sort of just do an introduction about what the Union Board is all about. It's an advisory board to the administration. We'll be starting our presentations of all the different groups from the Student Union coming in to talking to them, because to remind people, the Student Union Board is a group that will be presenting the CSU's budget to all of you, to the Senate to vote on as well. So Teresa Schwartz will come in next week to talk about the budget part. And then our last meeting on December 5th is when the presentations from the different units in the Student Union will be presented to the board along the way. So we're starting our process. We're happy to have students involved. We have 2 small groups, but 2 dedicated groups. So thank you all.
Any other announcements? Senator Karki?
Just putting it out there again that the off-campus housing survey is still going on. We have got a good amount of responses so far. We're still pushing them out and newsletters, tabling and stuff. So if you're available to table tomorrow 11 to 1 anytime, we do have someone covering it at all times, but if you want to join in on that, feel free to let me know and please fill it out if it applies to you. Thank you.
On that note, real quick, I'm just gonna say if you help table for the off-campus housing survey, or if you've already tabled this week for it, that can count towards office hours. What's that?
Yeah, something small.
Yeah.
There is an international festival happening on Sunday. So you like celebrating all like international cultures and countries. So if you're able to attend, you should come.
Joe?
I can just comment on that. For those here around the table, several of you are first-year students, and if you've not seen the International Festival at MSU, it's one of the largest in the region. And so I highly encourage you to come out to that event. You'll see some great food, some great performances and stuff like that. So very much worth your time to come out and check it out. So it is a fantastic event.
Just for some clarification information, what time is it from?
It's on Sunday from 11 to 3.
3, okay. Any other announcements? Alrighty, seeing none. We are going to go into roll call, and then after roll call, before we adjourn, President Narala will make a comment. So for final roll call, Senator Hassan.
Here.
Senator Franson.
Here.
Senator Leon. Senator Balogun. Senator Emke, Senator Ponte, Senator Bugney, Senator Reyes, Senator Maega, Senator Karki, Senator Mpenga.
Here.
Senator Dietrich,
Here.
Senator Smith, Senator Spouts, Senator Moore, Senator Baba, Senator Parekh, Senator Karki, Senator Livingston.
Here.
Senator Wiggles on Zoom, Senator Colleran.
Here.
Senator Zelmer,
Present.
Senator Hillstead.
Here.
I'm here, President Narala,
Present.
and then BPJ. And before we adjourn,
I make a motion for an executive session so we can have discussions for trophy lifting in a couple weeks.
is there a second to go into executive session?
Second.
Seconded, any dissent? Dissented by Senator, or question?
Both? Why do we need to go to executive session?
I'm asking all of you to sit back so we can sit down and chat. It's not just about the sports, but also about a couple of different things that are coming up on our timeline.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we will go into executive session. Is there anyone who you'd like to keep in the room? That's a no, so we would politely ask if you are not sitting at this table to please leave the room, because after executive session, then we will adjourn. Thank you.
Your timeline stuff?
cause I have a draft of the timeline.
See you in 2 weeks. When we beat you.
Good luck.
But kick